Who doesn't love free audio plugins? In today's video, I'm going to show you two new plugins that just came out that you can use in your mixes today to stand out and sound a lot better. Are you ready? Let's go. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy 5Piece, producer and engineer extraordinaire. Thank you for checking out today's video, and as always, if you haven't already, please hit the bell and subscribe button down below so you can stay tuned for more helpful videos. I drop new content every single week, and I'm usually talking about production stuff, recording stuff, mixing and mastering, and so much more. At the end of the day, what I'm trying to do is help you sound better and make more money with your music. If you want me to help you with those two things, subscribe to the channel so I can help you with that. But in today's video, I'm going to put you on to two free plugins. These just came out recently, and I've been playing around with them, and I wanted to show you what they are. And if you like them, definitely download and install them immediately because these are time-sensitive offers. I bet they're going to take these down soon and charge you for them or something like that. So if you like what you see, I'm going to include all links below so you can download them today. But let's take a look at the first plugin on this list, and that is Arturia's Chorus June 6. Now, I got the website up here if you want to take a look at it. And really, this is a chorus plugin, right? This is going to be more of an effect that you put onto vocals or onto synthesizers, and it's modeling the Juno chorus feature. So Roland Junos, those famous synthesizers, they were really famous because they had an amazing built-in chorus effect that really gave it a distinctive sound, and a lot of people would gravitate towards it for that reason. I got a session that I'm going to open up here, and I'm going to show you an example of what this sounds like and how you can use it. I got the session here, and right now I'm going to play just a little bit of this. This is just a rough thing that I've put together. It's not fully mixed or anything like that, so I give you a lot of mixing advice in my past videos. This one hasn't really taken a lot of that advice, but I want to just show you this effect and how you can use it in your own setup. So let me play this little moment of this beat here. You get the idea. So if I open up this pluck sound here, I'm going to solo it for a moment, and I have the chorus on it. It's just off right now. But check this out. This is what we're listening for. Super simple, right? So I got the chorus here, the Arturia chorus that I'm talking about, and it's a pretty, simple plugin. Only a few features. You got a mix knob. I'm at 100% wet right now. You got these different sort of presets, which I'm assuming are different curves, you know what I mean, or how much of the vibrato kind of effect that you're going to get, because the chorus is going to sort of add this wiggle or movement to your track, and that's why I would use it primarily on like a synthesizer, maybe a pluck, maybe even a vocal, but like a background vocal or a vocal that you're trying to achieve something really cool with, like some sort of different texture. But you would choose between these or manual, and when you choose manual, you can actually go in and adjust the rate, the depth, and the phasing that occurs manually, right? And as you can see, as I hover over these different parameters here, you can see that it kind of pops up at the bottom of the screen. It says what it's for, and I like that. It's a really cool way just to understand what you're doing, what you're trying to do. So right now I have it on the second setting here, so I'm not going in and using any of these manual settings, but let's just see what this sounds like before and after. Here it is. Hear how it's kind of like wobbly or wiggly, and you can kind of hear it sort of in between the notes. You really, really hear that effect. That's what this thing is ultimately doing. So it's a really cool way to just add some more texture or flavor to your record. Let me put this in and see what it sounds like. And what I will say is sometimes when you put this on, it sort of spreads the stereo image a little bit, and it just sort of displaces the sound a bit. And what you may need to do is ultimately adjust the volume after, maybe turn it up if it's lost a little bit of presence, right? Because you're adding the texture, but sometimes it causes it to go more into the background as a result. So let's just take a listen here and see. sort of get the idea. You can kind of tell that these middle two notes are getting a little bit lost, so I'd probably have to go in and do some manual automation, volume automation to bring them out. But you can really hear what this is doing. And once again, this effect is great on synthesizers, leads, and definitely certain kinds of vocals. Would I put it on drums and stuff? Not 100% sure. Maybe on some hi-hats for some cool, articulation or something like that. But definitely more of something you would put on instruments. So the second plugin that I want to tell you about today is Fresh Air from Slate Digital. Now this is a really interesting plugin. I got the website here once again, and feel free to click the link below to check it out yourself. But in the session that I'm using it in, I've actually used it on the drums, and I find there's a few specific ways to use it. I'm still experimenting with it. It seems to work really well on drums and vocals particularly. I've tried it on some synths and some keyboards, and I felt like it was doing a little bit too much. And it's definitely one of those plugins where it's easy to overdo it, but it can be very, very useful to just dial in a quick sound and add some more presence. And what it's specifically doing, I think it's like a spectral exciter, like a shaper or something like that, where it just adds some harmonic content, but also does so without really affecting the dynamics of a track too much, which is important. So it's a little bit different than an EQ. It's similar in a way. You could, achieve things that you would normally do with an EQ where you're boosting on the top shelf and whatnot, but it's just a little bit different. You're going to hear what I'm talking about here. So I'll play this beat that I've gotten. Once again, it's a little bit of a rough joint that I'm working on, but I'll play it maybe without the Fresh Air first, and then I'll put it in, and you'll see what it's doing. And just particularly listen to the drums, listen to the hi-hats, listen to the snare. This is on the overall group of drums, once again, but you'll hear what it's doing. Here we go. All right, so you probably heard the difference there, but let me just solo it and do it one more time with just the drum sounds. Here we go. I think you get the idea, right? It's a pretty simple and subtle change, but it is definitely bringing the presence out. And as you notice, I haven't cranked the settings here. Now, the way I like to use this plugin is I like to just increase each knob individually. You can control the mid presence and the high presence. The high presence could definitely be a bit more sharp and brittle depending on the sound. And you'll notice that when you put this on something like the drums, for example, that it's really going to push the snare and the hi-hats and things of that nature. It might affect the kick a little bit, but not too much. It's really going to affect those higher end sounds. And when you apply this, you may actually want to go in and turn those sounds down a little bit after the fact to just achieve a bit of a better balance, right? And I like to do them individually in terms of setting them, but you can also press this link button and move them at the exact same time. Once again, be careful with this. You don't want to overdo it. It could definitely create some problems, much like the Ozone Imager, if you're not too careful. But dialing in a little bit, as you can see, I got 47% and 35%, and it seems to be doing just the right amount of work to make this thing pop and sparkle. And if you're really not sure, or if it's really making things peak and clip, because you can see they got a meter here, you can always use the trim to turn down the whole group as well. And you can do that within the plugin, which is really helpful. So I hope you got value out of this video today. Definitely download these two plugins. Once again, all the links are down below. You can click them, sign up, and download them today. Do so before they take these down, because a lot of these plugin companies will offer you something for a limited time and then charge you for it later or include it in a bundle as a bonus, etc., etc. So don't sleep on this if you got value out of this video and if you like what you're hearing. All right? I'm looking forward to helping you guys again soon. Smash that like button and leave me a comment for something you want to see in the future. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
5